Dust clung to every window pane in the fading town of Redemption Ridge. Once a booming mining post, it now barely clung to life, like the man who sat in the corner of Miss Adelaide's saloon, nursing a glass of bourbon he never finished. Samuel Kincaid hadn't spoken to a soul in 3 days, not since the letter had arrived from his late wife's sister, reminding him that it had been 5 years since Annabeth died giving birth to a child that never lived long enough to cry. He didn't reply. He never did. Once a celebrated horse wrangler, Sam now lived on the outskirts of town, running a failing ranch and shunning anything that smelled of emotion. Folks called him Widower Sam behind his back, and none dared challenge the bitter war around his heart. That night, thunder cracked across the hills, and as the saloon doors flew open, a woman darted inside, her wedding veil half-torn, boots muddy, and a rifle strapped across her back. She looked like she'd run straight out of a dream, and right into his broken world. She was breathless, eyes wide with fear, and her dress tattered. "Is there a man here with a horse who won't ask questions?" she gasped, scanning the room. Sam didn't blink. "You can ride mine," he said gruffly, "but you're gonna tell me who you're running from." Chapter 2, A Name for the Pain. Her name was Clara Whitmore, and she was supposed to marry Sheriff Wayne Hollis that morning. A man twice her age, a man with power and fists like hammers. "He told me if I ran, he'd hunt me like a fox," Clara whispered as Sam saddled his mare under cover of darkness. "Said he'd bury me out by the canyon where no one would find me." Sam grunted. "I've known men like him. They hide behind law and call it righteousness." They rode into the hills, far past Dead Man's Gulch, where the sky opened wide and the stars seemed close enough to touch. Sam hadn't planned to let her stay more than a night or two, but when she winced climbing off the horse, revealing bruises on her arms and back, he felt something shift inside. It wasn't just pity. It was recognition. Someone else carrying a grief that wouldn't heal. Chapter 3, A Quiet Kind of Healing. Over the weeks, Clara helped around the ranch. She was no stranger to hardship. Her father died in a mining collapse, and she'd raised 2 younger siblings alone before they were taken in by relatives back east. She'd accepted the sheriff's proposal out of desperation, not love. But it was mucking stools and boiling coffee over a campfire with Sam, that she found her smile again. Sam began noticing things. How Clara sang when she thought no one was listening. How she always took her coffee black. Like him. How she never flinched from hard work or hard truth. She saw through his silences, too. "You talk to your wife's ghost more than you talk to me," she said once, handing him a mug. "I don't talk to her," he replied, "but I reckon she still talks to me." Clara sat beside him on the porch steps. "If she's still talking, maybe she wants you to start listening to someone else." He didn't answer, but his hand brushed his, and neither of them pulled away. Chapter 4, The Return of the Sheriff. News traveled slow in the hills, but it traveled. One afternoon, while Clara was out gathering wild berries, Sam rode into town for supplies. Sheriff Hollis was waiting on the general store porch, badge gleaming and rifle across his lap. "You've got something of mine," he said without a greeting. Sam's jaw tensed. "She ain't yours. She's her own." "She's my bride by law," Hollis sneered. "You give her up, or I'll take her. Ain't nobody gonna stop me." Sam stared him down. "You'll have to go through me." The sheriff laughed. "Then I'll bring men. And next time, I won't ask nice." Sam didn't respond. He turned, loaded his goods, and rode back toward the hills like a man heading into war. That night, he told Clara. She didn't cry. She packed. "I'll leave," she said. "You don't have to protect me, Sam. Not again." His voice was low and rough. "I didn't protect Annabeth, but I'll be damned if I let another good woman get hurt, 'cause I stood by doing nothing." She touched his chest gently. "You've already done more for me than anyone ever has." Chapter 5, The Showdown at Sundown. They came at sundown. 3 horses cresting the ridge, silhouettes against the red sky. Sam stood out front, rifle across his arms, Clara watching from the cabin window. Sheriff Hollis dismounted and spat in the date. Last chance. Sam cocked his rifle. You had your chance when you raised your hand to her. The sheriff fired first, but missed. Sam didn't. One shot rang out, and Hollis dropped, wounded in the leg. The other scattered. Clara came running, eyes wide with disbelief. You could have killed him. Sam lowered his rifle. Killing's easy. Living with it, that's the hard part. The sheriff groaned on the ground. Leave him, Sam said. Let him crawl back to town and tell folks what happens when you lay hands on a woman who don't want you. Chapter 6. Love in the Ashes. Weeks passed. Clara's bruises faded. So did Sam's nightmares. The town never came after them. No one much like Hollis anyway. Word was he resigned and left Redemption Ridge with a limp and a bitter tongue. One morning, Clara stood by the corral fence, hair loose in the wind. I never asked, do you believe in second chances, Sam? He joined her, brushing a hand across her shoulder. I didn't. Not until you walked through that saloon door. She turned to him. And now? He smiled, truly smiled, for the first time in years. Now I'm thinking maybe the good Lord gives us more than one soulmate. Maybe he gives us the strength to love again, if we're brave enough. Clara's eyes welled with tears. Then let's be brave. Together. He kissed her gently, like a man who thought he'd forgotten how. Epilogue. Redemption gained. A year later, the ranch had life again. Chickens roamed the yard, wildflowers bloomed near the porch, and Clara's laughter echoed off the hills. Sam built a nursery off the side of the cabin, not out of grief, but hope. Clara was with child. The kind of child born from love, not survival. They named the ranch Second Wind. And on quiet nights, when the stars shone bright, Sam would still talk to Annabeth, only now he'd thank her for sending him the runaway bride who saved his life with one look,